Hey guys, Tiaza here on freebellydanceclasses.com. So, as I introduce you in the next series of videos to the belly dance rhythms or Middle Eastern rhythms that you can use in your drum solos and your performances and different choreographies, I wanted to talk to you about a concept that I want you to be aware of before you even start, because once you start practicing on the rhythms first, it's like, for example, somebody said this is the Saidi, or this is the Maqsoom, or this is, Malfouf, or whatever the name is, and you're looking it up online, for example, and you're like, oh, let me Google that, let me look at a video, of Al Malfouf, for example, because I just taught you in a video, because that's what I'm planning on doing in the next videos, is I'm planning on teaching you different combinations you can do to different rhythms, right? So if I taught you like, 3 combinations you can do with Al Malfouf, for example, and you went online and you said, okay, let me type Al Malfouf rhythm so I could listen to and practice your combinations that you just taught me, you might find that the Malfouf that you found on this video or on the other video or that video, they're all completely different. And you'll be like, wait a minute, I thought the Malfouf is one rhythm and it all sounds the same all the time, right? So that might get you a little bit confused. And I want you to know about this first. I want you to talk to you about it first before you get to that point. Of course, ideally, if you are a beginner, I would advise you to stick to one rhythm that you find in a certain place. Like, for example, the app. Remember, I would talk to you guys about the iTunes app called Rhythm ID. Like, if you stick with that, it has the basic version and you won't be confused all the time. At least up to the point where like you get used to it, you practice, you get those combos down, and then from there you can listen to something different. But to answer your question, when you're going to be confronted with that and you're like, well, wait a minute, it's supposed to sound the same. Yes, it is true. But I want you to be aware of the concept of basic versus advanced or versus variations. The same rhythm in Middle Eastern music would have its basic variation, which is basically just the drum. Like when you just hear the drum, and it's simple. There's nothing in between the beats, the doom and the tak. So if it said doom doom tak, doom doom tak, doom doom tak, that would be like a basic rhythm. And if you listen to it played as a basic, you will hear just that doom doom tak, doom doom tak, right? So that's your basic variation. But the same exact rhythm, same count, same dooms and tucks, same weak and strong beat, all that will be exactly the same, could have its own variations. And what we mean by that, when we talk about variations, is variations could be created differently. First, they could be created by filling in the space. So like when we say doom doom tuck, doom doom tuck, do you see how slow this is, right? So it's slow, and so there's like a little bit of a space in between, And sometimes drummers will like pick up their left fingers, and it would create this little vibration in the back, So the right hand is creating the rhythm, and the left hand is just kind of doing this constantly, right? And creating a little bit of kind of a fill in the space so it doesn't sound too silent, doom doom tuck, doom doom. You know what I mean? So that background sort of music could be created, and that could create what we call a variation of it, or an advanced version of it, sometimes it's called. Sometimes you would have 2 different instruments. So obviously you have the darbuka, or the drum, or the tabla, as being the main instrument that introduces you to those beats, the dooms and the tucks. But you can also have other instruments playing in the background, like the def, which is kind of a variation of the drum in a way, playing in the background, and then you could hear in the background, you're like, wait a minute, what was that sound? What's that rhythm? What's that beat in the back? If you just like listen and isolate the drum itself, you will hear the beat. But because the def or the other instruments are playing in the background, it makes it difficult to kind of distinguish exactly the dooms and the tucks that are played by the drum. So train your ear when you hear that, when you hear 2 different instruments being played, the drum and then something else, to just kind of like train your ear, if you are a beginner, to just listen to the drum, because that's where you're going to pick up the beat. The background noise that you might hear is just the other instrument, and don't let that distract you from the actual beat, okay? So my point is, when you hear rhythms, and when I teach you rhythms, or somebody else teaches you rhythms, you are going to hear some sort of variations to those rhythms as well. Make that your next step. Not now. If you are new to the rhythms, if you are new to the belly dancing and to Middle Eastern music, please stick with the basic variations and then go on to the other versions after that, okay? And so, like I said, the way to do that is simply by listening to just my videos as I teach you the combos, or download an app like like Rhythm ID or any other app, but stick to just that one rhythm, that one basic rhythm. Don't listen to like so many different videos or different apps or different musicians, because they're all going to play some sort of a different variation of the same rhythm, and then therefore confuse you. Not like there's anything wrong with that, it's just you get confused if you are a beginner. Okay, so sorry, this was too much talk about a simple point I want to make, which is don't get confused with the variations. Stick to the basic if you are new, but be aware of this fact and don't let it confuse you as you are initiating this learning process of rhythms. All right, so hopefully that was helpful. I'll see you next time. Stay tuned. The videos are coming for all the combos on freebellydanceclasses.com, and make sure you definitely subscribe to this channel so to not miss all the different fun combos that we're going to learn for each rhythm. See you next time.